This is the Cozy Interaction System 2D quick setup. I've created a new project in Unity 6.3, the latest LTS, and just want to show you how you can get your interactions working in your project in a few minutes or so. Before we set anything up, let's open the demo scene. The included scene will help you to see the player, interactables, prompts and responses working together. You can play the demo immediately and also inspect how the different prefabs are built. As you can see in the demo, we have an example of a door opening and closing, inspecting a plant, reading a book or a note, as well as interacting with a cat NPC that greets you back. In your own scene, create an empty game object. We will call this game object CIS Manager, and you then add the CIS Manager component to this empty game object. The CIS Manager coordinates interaction detection, input, UI prompts, as well as visual feedback. Once you've done that, you are ready to assign input. Drag the keyboard interaction input prefab for quick testing into the scene and assign it to the CIS Manager as the input source. By default, the interaction key is E. Now it's time to add your player, camera, as well as a room-bound prefab. So drag in the player, the main camera and room-bound prefabs. If you have not done so already, either disable or delete the default main camera that's included with your new project. Also change the Z position of the main camera to -10. Still on the main camera, add the player as the target and the room bounds on the room bound field. On the player, add the room bounds object into the 2D movement script. Depending on how far you would want your player to be able to move on the screen, you can edit the bounding box for the room bounds object just to give yourself a bit more space. In this scene, I'm also just changing the background color of the camera so that it's easier to see the objects that you need to interact with. To add the prompt UI, we add the prompt canvas prefab to our hierarchy, expand it, and then assign the prompt root as the UI source on the CIS Manager, as well as the world anchor on the manager. We are now ready to add an interactable, for example, this prompt. If I now press on play, I'm able to see the player walking up to the interactable. The player walks up to the plant and the interaction prompt appears, as well as a small scaling effect and color change on the plant sprite. Once the player presses E, a small particle effect plays. You can change the size of the scaling effect, as well as the particle effect that will be playing, and the color for the sprite color change in the interaction trigger child of the interactable object. Here is another example of an interactable. So in this case, I'm dragging the cat or the NPC interactable into my scene. Now press play, the player walks up to the cat. Presses E and the dialog prompt appears. On the NPC interactable object, you are also able to find the scriptable object linked to it, and this is where you can change the dialog text for this interaction. The third example included is a door interactable. So I'm dragging the door interactable prefab into my scene. I'm now going to press on play, and as I walk up to the door, I'm then able to see the interaction prompt appearing. If I then press E, the door opens, and pressing E again closes the door. The final example interactable that is included is a book interactable. I am dragging the prefab into my scene. I press play, and now I can see the player walking down to the book. The interaction prompt appears. I press E, and the book pages then appear with the text on it. And when I press E again, the book pages or the note disappears. To end off, we recommend that you start with the prefabs. You are welcome to customize later without touching any of the core scripts. We hope you have fun as you are building your projects, and we wish you all the best in your game dev journey.